Second versus bottom, and it was starting to look ominous for Bray after 3 minutes when Dundalk captain Liam Burns gave his side an early lead. For Bray were handed away back into the game just past the half-hour mark when Jake Kelly went down under Sean Kelly's challenge. Jake Kelly then was on hand to capitalise and equalise from the spot. Ian Foster gave a first start to striker Johnny Breen, and he steered Ross Gaynor's cross beyond Brian Kane 7 minutes later. But what Bray lack in experience, they more than make up for in youthful enthusiasm, and they drew level for the second time right before the break. Again, Jake Kelly was their hero. Wanderers boss Eddie Gormley would no doubt have taken a point from this one, and with time almost up, it appeared to be heading that way, before ex-Dundalk player Robbie Doyle scored a dramatic late winner, their first win of the season.
Now to the Louth derby between Drogheda and Dundalk. Here we see Alan McNally, a thumbs up from him, a recent dad to baby Alfie. Congratulations to him. Here's Adrian Eames.
Derby games are generally tight, tense affairs. This one wasn't, though, as Dundalk breezed to a comfortable win. An early goal set the tone for the night. Gary Breen's looping header finding the net after just 2 minutes. Drogheda guilty of poor defending. Stung by that early setback, Drogheda almost hit back straight away. Paul Crowley unlucky to see his close-range effort deflected behind. Crowley wearing a face mask, his frustration though all too apparent. After their shock defeat to Bray, Dundalk were clearly determined to put in a big display. Faradin Kudasovic almost set up a second with a fine pullback, but Drogheda had bodies back to avert the danger. But Dundalk struck for the killer second goal after 16 minutes. Ross Gaynor's free kick, brilliantly swept home by Breen. 4 league goals for the season for Gary Breen. Oh, for a team of Gary Breens, eh? 2-0 up and coasting, Dundalk went in search of a third. Gaynor's free kick towards the back post. Tom Miller couldn't direct his header on target. Miller yet to get on the score sheet for his new club. Drogheda almost pulled a goal back before the interval, a real goal-mouth scramble. And with Dundalk in an absolute tizzy, Crowley saw his effort hit the crossbar. Alan Matthews was seething with his defence afterwards, but he got a few complaints about his side in the final third as they tried to get a foothold in the game. Gareth O'Connor's well-struck effort pushed away by Cherry. And United continued to go forward. Kendrick fed McGill, who cut inside onto his right before providing a decent cross. Crowley's header dropping onto the roof of the net. Just not happening for the masked one. Ross Gaynor was lively all night for Dundalk, but he won't want to see this miss again. After doing all the hard work in rounding the keeper, he went and knocked it wide. Oh dear. Moments later, and Gaynor was in on goal again. Faradin Kudasovic with the brilliant setup. Gaynor under pressure from Kendrick blazed over. It was turning into one of those nights for Gaynor. Some sloppy defending gave him yet another opportunity. This time though, Paul Murphy proved to be his nemesis. Kudasovic then drove the ball across the face of goal, but Johnny Breen couldn't get the required touch. With Drogheda having committed players into attack, Dundalk always looked likely to add to their tally. Johnny Breen fed Stephen Maher. Murphy executed the save. But Dundalk duly got their third goal of the game. Kudasovic brilliantly played in Gaynor, and this time he made no mistake. Credit to Gaynor, who kept plugging away despite those earlier misses. In the end, he got his reward. The game was up for Drogheda, but they refused to bow down. McGill did well to set up Joe Kendrick, who fizzed his shot just wide. And for the second time in the game, Drogheda were denied by the woodwork. This time Gareth O'Connor cracking a tremendous shot off the crossbar. By this stage, some Drogheda supporters were heading for the exits. Bad enough losing at home, but defeat to your great rivals is hard to take. However, those that left missed Drogheda's late goal. Paul Crowley's shot deflected in off Liam Burns. A mere consolation for a Drogheda side who've now conceded 25 goals this season. So an easy win for Dundalk. They're sailing along very nicely indeed. Drogheda in disarray. It finished Drogheda United 1, Dundalk 3.
A lot's expected of us at the moment, you know, and we've not got no divine right to go and beat Bray. It was an off night for us, but we needed a response, we needed a reaction, we needed to show a lot of character in a local derby, and I thought we were excellent tonight.
There has to be a hunger. You have to want things. You have to have a desire to win games. As a defender, you have to have a desire to keep clean sheets. As a striker, you have to have a desire to get in front of people and try and get goals and maybe get yourself hurt and get a knock here and there. You have to want to win. And I haven't seen enough of that this season from the players. And I take responsibility as manager. It's up to me to try and get the best out of them.
Sean, we have another manager now in an after-match interview taking responsibility for his team. We heard from Pat Fennan last week. I mean, is this Alan Matthews' fault or what is it? 25 goals conceded?
25 goals, yeah, it's an awful lot, and it's not like Alan's teams because over the years Alan's built a team around strong defence. He's brought in players, his own players, and experienced players. Jamie Harris is there, Alan McNally as well, who's experienced within the league. But he'll be absolutely fuming with the way they're
you can tell from the interview he is annoyed.
Yeah, he's
actually, we had a question on Facebook. Mark McKenna got in touch. What do Drogheda need to do to stay up? I suppose the obvious answer is stop conceding goals.
Stop conceding goals and scoring them. But they don't seem to be getting the chances at the other end of the pitch. You know, it could have been a cricket score by the look of the things there tonight. But Alan needs to kind of get them back to basics, you know, and defend, and that's what he tends to do. We're just looking here from the replay. You know, Dundalk are first to every ball, and you can't let a ball bounce like that in around the box. Even this situation here, it's not a great ball into the box, but there's no front man, there's no near man there to kind of even clear it. Now, Gaynor, he could have had a hat-trick the other night, the amount of chances he had, but that was against a very poor defence. He was given those on the basis of a very poor defence.
He looks like, Sean, like Ross Gaynor looks like he's doing the Killian Brennan that Bowes, you know, he did with Derry and Bowes. That he's a threat every time he cuts inside. He makes diagonal runs in across the box, and very hard. But from dead ball situations as well, you know, he's probably the best in the league now at the moment.
But you can also see that the Drogheda back four are not a unit. They're all four separate individuals. Alan Matthews is right what he's saying. You do need to put yourself into the team, but the team also needs good organisation. And I think Alan Matthews and his players have got to come together very, very quickly and get their act sorted out, because at the end of it, they won't like being where they are. It's a point of principle and it's a matter of pride, and they have to sort it out.
What about Dundalk? I mean, again, we have more people, a lot of people getting in touch with us to this programme. Dundalk fans, needless to say, criticising us, saying we don't give Dundalk the credit they deserve for what they're doing.
I don't see that. I mean, I've been speaking, we all have, very highly, but they've got Hatswell, they've got Milligan, they've got Miller, they've got Gaynor, they've got Cherry in goal, they've got Fenn, they've got Odge. They've got extremely talented players, and they're playing exceptionally well, very attractive, very well organised, a manager who has his hand firmly on the till, and the tiller, so they know what they're doing.
How do they lose to Bray at home?
Well, it happens. It happens. I mean, there are no guarantees anymore in football. They've conceded 10 goals, which you would think is a lot, but they're still in joint first position. And the type of football they're playing is very, very attractive. But I would just suggest that maybe they need 4 or 5 more experienced players to back up the talented players in the squad they've got.
That takes money then, Damien. You know, it's again going back to the financial situation within clubs. Like, everybody knows you need, like, what I say, Ian Foster knows it. Like, the way he sets up, it's 3 in the middle of the park and he has the 2 men wide, but it's a 4-3-3 really playing at home, you know. Ross Gaynor goes on, Kudosevic goes on, you know, and they play extremely well. But, you know, with the amount of games that are coming and they're playing, you know, it's bound to take your toll on a small squad, and that's where it might hurt them.